the situation that the guys who had the heaviest capital investment per hundredweight were the ones that were getting picked off. When we started here, there was roughly 20 guys, all milking small dairies like this. We're it.
But our leisure time increased quite a bit. We found out that we could feed quite a bit less and make quite a bit more money with a lot less work.
For 25 years, I chased high milk production. Now I don't. You think more in terms of milk per acre than milk per animal unit. And that's hard to wrap your head around.
If you're trying to set records for breeding purposes, it might not fit. But if you're interested in making money to pay off a mortgage, if you really want to build wealth, real wealth, this is like oil or timber or mining. All real wealth goes back to the soil eventually. Everything else is secondary in industry.
One of the things that we have to put up, of course, with is mud in the spring, and sometimes in a really wet spring that becomes an issue that we have to deal with. We have some improved lanes, and we have a couple lanes that aren't improved, and so we try to stay off them during the wet season. But that can be a real issue on some farms.
First year when we put them out, you could see all the tracks, you know, just like a regular alfalfa field. And the cows didn't know what to do out there. They just go out and lay down. You know, they did. Until the heifers you raised on grass or in the line, you suffer some. They just, I don't think even internally they're designed exactly like a grazing cow. I don't know if they have that depth of rib and playing the room to handle that much forage coming through. I don't know, theory. And they're not bred for it. We had great big cows like everybody else, you know, and they'd come out here and their knees and their hocks would get hammered up in the barns, and they'd come out here and heel up, but they didn't really graze very well.
Yeah.
But we just kind of suffered through the first couple of years. I wasn't sure, very honestly, if we were going to make it. It was close financially.
Yeah.
Because you have the new investments,
right,
the old debts.
Yeah. Everything
you don't know what's going on, and neither do the cows. And it was dicey. And we just put all our kids in Christian school. And that was about $10,000 a year, which we didn't have, but we felt led to go that way, so we did.
There's been a lot of challenges. I really didn't, I'm not kidding when I say didn't know anything. I've been on concrete for 27 years. So all the cow manipulations was a big challenge. Learning when grass was ready and when it was done was something I wasn't familiar with. And starting with a group of Holsteins that were bred for high production in a confined system, to expect them to walk 3/4 of a mile twice a day, and that will take a while.
It's a different management system for the cows, and that really is different. The cow has to learn why she's out there. She really does, and some never will, especially the older cows. Best, if I was going to start from scratch, I'd go get some calves and raise them on grass and just be patient. When they started milking, that'd be my grazing cows. It'd be a lot simpler. Not always possible for a dairyman. You will have to deal with the weather more. It's not much fun out there getting cows in a rainstorm. But there are days like today when it's sun and shining. It's great to be out there.
One of the other things that on a seasonal herd, when you're calving in the spring, you're having 4, 5, 6 calves a day. For that 6 or 8 weeks, you're really, really busy. Here we would check the dry cows 2, 3 times a day, and then Mary Jo would check a couple of times during the night to make sure every calf was okay and mom was okay too. So that, you know, for that 6 or 8 weeks, it's pretty intense. But after that, once you get the calves in groups and fed in the groups, it's fairly easy.
The real early season when the grass grows faster than the cows consume it, and then the late season when doesn't grow fast enough to always have grass in front of them. Yeah. We had a really easy summer, real timely rains, never had to irrigate. So for a novice like myself, it was a pretty easy slide getting started. But you got to start early, or else it'll be heavy in a heartbeat. Other grazers, Howard Stroke, for example, I've talked to him extensively. And then there's a guy named Ben Bartlett up in the UP that's been a proponent for grazing for a long time. And I did go to a few grazing schools, so I had a clue what to expect. So MSU Extension and then my faculty coordinator.
And then we went up to that seminar, and some of the stuff made sense and some of it really stretched me. And I was always trying to take what they were doing with grazing and meld it into my confinement precepts. Yeah. You know, and you kind of come up with a blended mess. And, you know, you're trying to fit things together that maybe shouldn't. Yeah. I go visit at least 2 or 3, 4 successful grazers, because each one will be quite different, and you will learn something applicably to your farm from each one of those operations. And then if time allows, I would design a system with some of those guys' help. I'd get my calves out, and I would learn about grass and grazing, and they would learn about grass and grazing. And then I'd get my fresh cows out, the cows getting ready to freshen. I'd get my dry cows out. And that might be all I tried to do the first year. And I'd do that because I would learn and the cattle would learn, but I wouldn't affect my cash flow as it was. My milk cows would stay in, and that would all, you could only handle so much change at once, at least me. And then the next year, perhaps, I would worry about starting to get my cows out. And I would do it with the understanding that perhaps the first year I'd only let them out 12 hours. And I would do kind of a quasi-grazing. And just step into it lightly so as not to send shockwaves through your finances. Yeah. Okay? But I guess that's what I would do. I would just go into it very slow after I had talked to several guys, if possible.
So I do think things will get better. And most grazers I talked to when they first started, not regretted it, but wondered if they'd made the right decision. Mm-hmm. So if you stick with it, it will eventually work out.
So 3 years for everybody.
3 years for the cows, 3 years for the people, 3 years for the grass. And I think it's true. Mm-hmm.
Mary Jo, 2 words.
What is that? What are those 2 words?
Mary Jo.
Oh, I love that. That's on tape, Mary Jo.
We had to tear the barn down while we milk cows.
You can't believe it.
Yeah. And this guy is somebody that comes from down the street every now and then and bothers me.
Another question. What that's like, well, that's a great.
It's a great little quote.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the smell of cows in the morning.